So hey Aashirwad, what's up?
Hello.
So what do you think about Indian cycling? What's your thoughts on it?
Indian cycling, it's growing, and then the Indian cyclists really need help if you're a cyclist wanna grow up and turn pro, or if you're someone who just wanna race and have fun, you still need help because cycling is just surviving because we have athletes to race, but there are no organizations and other like little state federations doing anything for the cycling community.
So you basically mean that we need good organizers that support cycling as well as people who have good knowledge on cycling.
I just think that we need to do like help the culture in India grow for cycling
Yeah,
because it's not a one federation thing because we lack everything for cycling. It's like we don't have anything apart from national championship. We're not at the world championship level, and then first thing first we need to develop the cycling culture because if you go and ride, like if you wanna explain this to your neighbors like you are a cyclist, you are probably sure that they don't know anything about what you're doing. They're just like you're a kid cycling.
you're right. You're right. So
Yeah.
basically, we don't have good marketing of cycling. Basically, nobody knows cycling in India as a racing sport,
Yeah.
as a culture of Europe. We don't have the same thing here happening in India.
Mm-hmm.
What we need is probably some good support from the side of government as well to market the sport, to plug something into the people that there is a sport called cycling in India, so that people will know it. I think probably from 5 to 10 years from now, we may grow, because everybody cycles in India and it is something very basic and very connected to people as part of transportation. So, considering that, probably the culture may start. We're not sure, but yeah, I think even people should think about it.
Yeah, the government plays a key role here because the first step of having a good cycling culture is like doing cycling on the roads when we are like barely able to ride our bikes on a good road.
Good.
Because if you are a guy who wants like become a good cyclist, you need to hop in a car in the morning and then drive out the city and ride the bike.
You're right. You're right.
And then the other thing is like I have never seen apart from national championships like track or road, like only the road, we never seen a road closed for cycling events.
Yes, you're right.
Like, and the other sports, let it be any other sport like a sporting event, if it's a cricket stadium, you've seen like all the area around it, it's jam packed and it's blocked.
Yeah.
And then the transport is like diverted in the middle of the
Yeah.
day.
Yes. Yes.
And
Yes.
we are just asking for a little help, just an hour or 2 hour road clearance in the morning. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Government can really
They'll
help
really
help
help
us
with
out
that.
there.
Yeah. And then those 2 hours may like not may, but it will really help a cyclist train on that like loop of, let's say, even 20 kilometers would help. There are a lot of roads in India in different parts of the city, India in particular cities where there are good roads, but you are not able to train because of the traffic in the morning. And these days, it's too much anywhere in India to train. Probably you just have to head somewhere into some green forest areas to ride or train, which will basically get expensive. Or else you have to take your car early in the morning, go to some highway, train there, get back. Meanwhile, you lose your time of the day. You have a lot of other works to do. So this is also one of the part where things get really expensive in the biking in India.
Biking in India thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably people say that they can train indoors and everything, but I don't think training indoors every single day does really work. Uh,
If you want to get stronger, anything will work out. Like you just need to find what works for you. But the thing is, you're not able to test it until the track and road nationals.
you're
Okay,
right.
like I find, like obviously you have to do like high intensity efforts indoors because, like example, I am coming from Hyderabad, and then we had three roads up, like from 2 years back we had 3 roads to train on, like Medchal highway, which is like impossible to train right now on that road because of speed breakers, bus traffic, and potholes. So potholes are like so bad that your frame is gonna crack.
Crack, yeah, you're
And
right.
then next is Warangal highway, which is like constructed and muddy and whatever. I don't use it because it's also at the other side of the of of the Hyderabad
Basically,
place
it's
where I
out
stay.
of the
It's
city,
like
almost.
out of the city,
Yeah.
and opposite to where I stay.
Yeah.
So that leaves me with Bangalore highway, and then what they have recently done, like I have not uh, seen any other roads with similar conditions, that you have these white little spot speed breakers. They
Yeah.
don't remove the old ones, but they put new
Put
ones
new
on,
ones on.
and that's really scary for bike riders.
Bike riders, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, and then it's like very jam packed nowadays. Bangalore highway also.
So basically, we need good roads to train on. Even to get better at it, we basically have to do it every single day. Be consistent at it.
Yeah.
But watching this traffic things and everything, the
See-
training part is really getting harder. And end of the day, we don't even get support from our even state association at times.
Yeah.
That's the worst part here, and people are really busy at their own shit.
Yep.
So, how do you think? What's your opinion on getting faster, even in these conditions? Do you have any tips or like to become faster, even in these conditions?
So, like if you're something you want to develop towards getting somewhere through cycling, like a national athlete or national medalist or so, first things first, like if you have money, save that money and use it at the right place. Like if you have money, you will think of like, oh, I have bad roads, I'll just buy me a ticket and then just get a cam set up somewhere else. That's an option, but that I'll only recommend that if you are 2 to 3 guys and putting up a camp somewhere, like you need to like have a car transport there. That's important, or a scooty at least, so you can, and a helper who can give you feeding and help you out with other stuff, and then a bike shop nearby. That's mandatory because you don't know what fuck ups can happen. You can bend your rotor and then you need new one, and
New one.
then Indian conditions are like so. Like you have posted a new rotor through speed post, but it will still take you 4 days.
Basically, we don't
Even
have.
being the neighbor state.
Yeah, basically we don't have the right logistic accessibility.
Yeah.
And then what do you mean the investing in right things exactly? It's basically saving up the money, not investing on like really good carbon frames, like putting 3-4 lakhs on a frame,
So
and then
this is what I've learned, because as a kid I was like, oh, that kid has this carbon frame, Di2, Ultegra Di2 and stuff like that. But that's not gonna make you fast. Like it's you who's you need that fuel. Like if I pay 50,000 extra for a Di2 upgrade, rather go for a Dura-Ace. Like if you're buying a racing bike, buy a race bike. Invest in the group set because it's really gonna help you out. Because if you buy a carbon frame, high top end carbon frame, it's gonna last you for 2 to 3 years max. And if you wanna stretch it out, it will last you for 5 to 6 years. But that's not the point. The point is like if you buy a good group set, you can upgrade the frame and you can still put the group set on.
Yeah.
Like the Dura-Ace group, mechanical Dura-Ace groups are still are like very smooth at changing the gears, so they still work. But the frame, like my first frame, the Major Yap Sculptura frame, is probably not that stiff or not that aggressive now. And then we need to adapt to frames, so don't spend a lot on frames. And I am riding a Factor now, but I don't really need it because I can't really get anything out of it because I'm still at like under 18 level and like internationally. But now I'm gonna reset after turning to the
Elite.
senior like an elite under 23 category. So I'm again gonna be like national level.
Yeah.
I need to get better to go to the international level. And international level, like you don't need this kind of machine, because this machine is something like a Grand Tour and super comfy and super powerful frame set, which also takes a lot of money out of your pockets. Rather, you can use that money for a camp or a power meter. Power meter is the first thing. If you got a bike, you need a power meter on it.
So basically, you say even get a let's say some basic good aluminium frame with some good group set on it, and then put a power meter, train as hard as possible.
No. I wouldn't say a alloy frame, but that's again comes to the budget. But buy a good road frame. Like a good road frame is like a Cervelo Solist and Canyon frames are like you have a budget like 5 lakhs is the limit out there for the frame. And Canyon bikes are like cheap, like 3 or 4 lakhs for a Di2 and a carbon frame, then the bikes are awesome. But it's hard to get your hands on because it's straight one-on-one purchasing, not as a dealership. Canyon doesn't have a dealership thing.
Okay.
But if you can get a Canyon bike, if you know how to get a Canyon bike, that's
Okay.
the first option.
And this thing is for particularly races, not exactly for people who are like just starting cycling. This
Yeah.
is for somebody who really knows what's happening with their cycling career. And then if you really want to do something good with your bikes, go for it. If you're a beginner, don't really buy some expensive shit and then you're not improving in your training. First thing I'd like to say is invest in a good coach, investing in good right nutrition, right recovery. That is one of the major things we will come across in the podcast. So see you guys in the next one. I hope you guys helped with whatever the small podcast we could do.
Yep. And we are speaking about the podcast after doing a BBCH race, which ended up quite bad.
Quite bad for, I'd say worst for me, and he can say quite bad for him.
Yeah. Okay, then see you in the next one.
Wow.
Bye bye.
Bye.